Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a week since Eurovision Finals, and we're all in the same state that you are. A little bit moved on, a little bit sad.
Most of them are not in Minnesota.
Wow, guys, I'm so sorry.
Maya is back to her dumb jokes. But we just wanted to come back and do one more wrap-up video for the year, just to say, hey, thanks for joining us for the whole season. If you just discovered us this year, obviously welcome. We will be back again next, January, I assume. And doing the same thing, year to year. And specifically, we're here to begrudgingly give the
Tyler the win for the draft because
we're gonna give it to Maya because she performed about as well as everyone assumed and nearly doubled my points. I was in second place, so
you have to list the points.
I'm not gonna list the points. I have them down below.
Yeah, we do not have to list the points.
They
That
didn't
is unnecessary.
I just want to let you know that we are, in fact, sitting in the correct order. I'm looking at Becca's cheat sheet. We are doing that. That was intentional.
I would like to point out.
No, it's not the right order. Tyler beat you.
No, I can't do numbers.
It's important that the internet knows that Maya has no soul, so she just selects songs to try and win the draft. Oh she doesn't have any.
That's the purpose of the draft.
It is not.
Like,
I disagree.
If you're gonna play the game, you gotta play it right.
Disagree. You should take songs that you think will do well, but that you also like. Not just be like, oh well, I looked up the betting odds and these are the ones I'm gonna select.
I try to influence Eurovision with my selection.
Right. Like,
because
Moldova should have won because I said so.
If I believe enough in them, they're gonna
win. I'm just letting this happen and see what, yeah.
Also, I would like to say that I like all the songs that I picked, so.
Yeah. So she did vote with her heart.
No, she did not. She's openly admitted to not voting with her heart.
It's just that her heart and the betting odds were similar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Maya, you did also get a bonus 50 points for Ukraine. As if it mattered.
Because she needed
what
that.
What place did I say Ukraine was?
I think 4th.
They got 4th?
I think so.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I don't remember. You guys know because
everybody just remembers the top two.
That's know because you remember, and you also know because you just saw it on the screen. Fun fact. Little glance behind the camera here. We can't see those scores at the same time as you, so.
Yeah.
Anyway. Magic. It is some movie magic right there.
We could, what we could do.
Uh-oh.
Is we could just say a whole bunch of numbers and then you just cut it for whichever one we have right.
1.
You got first, 5th,
3,
7th, 42nd.
The better way to do that is to say whatever number you think it is, and then when I'm editing the video, I'll just voice over the correct number.
Yes. It's gonna be when Tyler
just do a little pixelated thing over the mouth, or
we don't have to name
AI
every
mouth.
number.
13th with purple points.
Anyway, this video really has no purpose other than that. So
we missed you.
Can we
We're
complain?
just hanging out.
Can we?
Yeah, we can
join in internet complaints.
We can respectfully. I mean, there are already places to do that. It's called the internet.
That's what we're doing. We're doing the internet.
Maybe.
All of it.
Maybe. If you would like to voice certain opinions, you can do them in a more appropriate place. But yes, general feelings, thoughts.
Yeah.
Sure, of what went down. Obviously,
yeah.
There were some surprises.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I was kind of surprised Spain did as well as they did. I know they were a popular song.
As well as they did.
Yeah, because I didn't expect them to get very much in the jury vote.
As high, not performed. Right?
Yeah. I was so disappointed that Spain got as low as they got.
I know. I'm with Maya. They got garbage points.
I didn't.
The lowest televote points of any country.
Were they the lowest?
Yes. Yeah. That is wrong. You are wrong.
I don't know.
You know who you
that's
are.
That's incorrect.
You should have made that vote.
Spain's song was interesting, but it was not particularly special.
Oh my goodness.
It was not the worst song in the final.
It certainly was not the worst song in the final. That is an accurate statement.
This is also true.
No, I think we had the discussion after the fact of we have no ill towards Lorene. She's an excellent performer. It was a good song. I don't think that that's really the issue, but I think that this really illustrated the problem with the jury this year. I think it's been a bit of a struggle because there is no system for the juries, so you have the Grease Cyprus Grease thing, which was weird this year.
Yeah.
They 4 points to Cyprus. I was amazed, but regardless, but that's very normal, which makes it very clear that the jury, the reason they brought the jury in was to supposedly have some sort of objectivity,
right?
And it's definitely not that. It's 100% not that.
No. Yeah.
They really push toward. They do one of two things. They either vote for friends and neighbors. Or, I mean, this is not all countries, mind you. This is not, uniform. But it is very common they vote for friends and neighbors or for whoever is bigger in the music industry.
Right.
And I think we saw the latter this year. In general. Yeah, hey, this song's going to do really well. This song is going to be really big. And that's not really the point, right? So, there's a couple of videos, channels that Becca has plugged before on here that did really good breakdown of that, but I think that there's a lot of comments on there from people talking about how you could fix the jury.
Well, and I should put in here too that every time that the results go away that someone doesn't like, they'll blame either the jury or the televotes, depending on which swayed the way that they didn't prefer. So, I mean, this conversation kind of comes up every single year. But, I mean, it does... The jury does tend to go for very Western, very, radio
Måneskin was what, 8th in the jury vote or something like that? 8th or 9th? They were very low in the jury vote. And they won only because they had a massive televote. I think they're the highest in history, or second highest. I think Poland.
Yeah, there was one of them that had
Salvador was
Portugal.
It starts with a P. It's the same. But Salvador had the record high, and then Måneskin's right behind them, right behind him.
And Cario was higher.
So I feel like there should be at least, even if it went one specific way that we didn't like, if there was a transparent system and not just a bunch of people with absolutely no understanding of why they do what they do, that people would be more accepting. It's maybe we don't agree, but at least there's some level of system there.
Who decides the jury?
Each
country.
Yeah, each country.
But who in the country decides?
Isn't there music or entertainment?
Sorry, I'm greasy.
I don't want to say leaders. That sounds wrong. That's not what I mean.
Yeah, industry professionals.
There you go.
But that still doesn't quite answer your question.
Yeah.
It's not the delegation. It would be the participating broadcasting company.
And who they select for the jury, there's no system for it, right? So we were talking the other day, I feel like every jury should have one actual artist on it. It shouldn't just be producers or radio professionals or something like that.
And it's often.
Often they do, but it's not required. There should be some level of, because again,
something more consistent from country to country, so where every country is sending the same level of individuals.
Yeah, an outlier like Finland is not going to get
the song.
Yeah. So something who's kind of outside of the major industry is not going to get a lot of votes from radio professionals.
Right.
But artists might be this is really cool and here's why. Now maybe they don't. I mean, and that's fine too, but at least you have some level of that input there.
Yep. And go ahead.
No, I was probably going to end up changing gears entirely. Just go for it.
Well, I just want to put in, so I've told Tyler this multiple times. I think I mentioned it to either of you. My idea for revamping the jury is to make it a lot more like the Olympics. where like each participating country would send one jury member.
I would say or two.
Or two.
Because like if you want to do one artist and
we
one
have two different
industry
ideas.
Professional. Yeah.
Send one person. This is my idea.
Or two.
Oh my goodness. To make up the Eurovision jury. Instead of having a whole jury of people from this. Yeah, you get it. And then the Eurovision could accept or deny an application based on, I don't know, corruption or things like that. Whatever method they want to make sure that the person that they're sending is legit. It's up to them. It's their show. There's a level of fairness versus they're trying to build an entertaining show. That's kind of like, I want to give them the control that they need to have over the show, but also make the nations feel like they also have control and a say in what goes on. And then, the Eurovision creates specific criteria that the song's judged on. And it can be whatever they want. It can be specific aspects of songwriting. It can include performance aspects, staging. I mean, I don't know what I would pick if it were up to me necessarily. There's always some issues like, okay, well, wealthy nations get to spend more money on staging, costuming, choreography, lighting, blah, 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 than countries that aren't so wealthy. You want to make it equitable as much as possible and reward creativity. But that way, when a jury member is voting, they're voting in those specific categories, and they know they can show, yes, I thought this song had better, a better vocalist performance than this song, or I thought, one thing or another. So it's more transparent, and it's fair, and still have the televote be 50% or more. Yeah, I think that would be excellent. I tried to make it short and I failed. I'm so sorry.
No, I think that's good though. I like that breakdown. It's a good breakdown.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna break down now.
It's okay.
I think it would be really cool to if they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we discussed that a little bit. If they did something like that, they could do the points in a very similar way to what they do now when they present each country. But for each country, they could go in randomized order, right? So you could do a randomization and just be like, okay, we're gonna shuffle the countries, right? Or you could go in performance order or whatever. Sure. But you could put all the points up. You could be really transparent about it. Total, they got this many points for songwriting, this many points for staging. And, that's all just below, but it gives you a total at the top, right? But it gives that below. So, people can go back and watch and pause it and be like, well, why did they get, but it's transparent. The whole point being, we understand why they're giving them this many points. And it's a total set of whatever number of points they have.
Yeah.
Right?
And I know there's the argument of, well, this is a song contest. It's just about the song. It's
never been.
Yeah.
In the history of Eurovision,
it's
never been.
It's just not going to be the thing. And it's, regardless, these are musicians, they're artists. It's about entertainment, and that means something different to different people. And whether that's fortunate or unfortunate, it's kind of neither here nor there. Yes, song contest, awesome. But I think it's more, this gives artists worldwide recognition. You get to put yourself out there on the stage. And a lot of people are exposed to artists that they never would be. Not everybody follows Eurovision the way you guys watching are following Eurovision. Some people tune in on the day of, and it's just because they've been invited by somebody who, like one of us, and it's their first time ever, exposing them to this different type of music. Yes, the song matters, but what matters to us isn't necessarily going to be your general listener. And I think that that's kind of where Eurovision needs to be, because if you take somebody who has never followed Eurovision ever and you stick them in a room to watch the final, they're going to not be thinking about any of that other stuff at all. They're going to watch the performance and they're going to be like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, or, oh, whoa, that was visually interesting. Like, they're going to react to it differently, and the way they vote and they rank things is going to be completely different than I have put my, like, Tyler is absolutely going to vote for Moldova.
I'm invested.
No matter what Moldova did, doesn't matter. They're the best. It's amazing. And of course I
They
have
have had songs I didn't like.
That's why you don't get to be in the jury.
yeah, but
don't
like
sneeze
they
on
don't
yes.
bring that there just because they're like, well, I love this country, because
Don't
of
sneeze
how
on
they've
me.
performed in the past and or whatever. You know, they don't bring that to the table. The same thing this year with Loreen and Sweden. It's like they don't have the history to know where she comes, like where the politics of this are, or what the internet's been saying, or
Right.
any of that. They just sit down and enjoy it, and either they
It's a
enjoy
fresh
it or they
performance.
don't enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it would be interesting if Eurovision was judged by people who didn't do Eurovision. Also, that took me in a completely different direction. I wasn't thinking that moments ago. But it would be interesting to see where everybody would rank if somebody's hadn't watched and the jury was just made up of people who didn't do Eurovision. Thank you, Steven.
I would.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that it should be. I'm just saying
it'd be
that
interesting. Okay.
It would be interesting. What we base, what should have happened and how things should go in Eurovision. It's more than what it is. I don't know.
Mike, do you have any thoughts? Because we're just talking over here. I mean, I know you have thoughts. I wasn't implying that you're brain dead.
I'm just like zoning out over here, just thinking about how I won. That's
it.
Wow, never
okay,
mind.
So yeah, what I was gonna say earlier.
That's not. I don't have any adding thoughts.
Okay.
My thing was this year, is that I don't think I gave it, like, I feel differently today about it than I did the day of the final. Like, I kind of, like, said over and over, this year is just underwhelming in comparison to, say, last year or some, like, just, I felt like nothing really stood out to me, but then it's been, like, the day of the final, and then since then, it's like, songs keep coming back to me. Like, I keep just singing the songs in my head or whatever, or out loud and just, like, random, and it's like, I think there was a very good selection this year that was very good. And I think maybe that's what made me feel that way. That nothing, like, really stood out, but it's because there were just a lot of really good songs.
Yeah.
It was a good show this year.
I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that everyone in the final performed very well. Well,
Yes.
most people.
Oh,
There was only like 2 that were a struggle.
Yeah, pretty much everyone. I was like, wow, I'm really impressed with how good your vocals are right now.
Yeah.
Good job.
I
wanted
so much from Serbia.
Oh, there were some mic struggles. I think they did not have him set
I don't
up
think
properly.
and that's exactly as I feel like the world, whoever tuned in on that day, didn't get what they had to give, and that makes me sad because they're so unique. Like, I just think that it was such a good song, and it could have been
was really good.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in. Now, grant the Big Five never do well, but not
frequently.
Never. But
Yeah,
they frequently are not top
after
choices.
last year, we kind of
Italy.
thought it was changing.
Like Italy and France might be
The
getting
last couple years,
some traction, but it clearly
ultimately,
didn't happen.
I think it was a fluke.
But I was very disappointed in how France scored versus how well she performed. She killed
I would say the
it.
same with Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did.
Absolutely.
Germany did way worse than I imagined they would have.
I was pretty astonished.
And I'm always sad that Australia gets so few televotes compared to, like,
but then
what I think they should get.
And this is one of the best. This was a great one they sent this year. Like, we
so
were hanging around the following week. Like, that song gets so stuck in your head so easy. It's such a good song, and his voice. I just really like his voice. He's not like an amazing vocalist, but I really enjoy listening to his. Like, I started following them on Spotify. I'm like, I gotta check this band out because they're just really cool.
And they'll never come here.
Oh, and Finland is as far as I could tell, the first country to get over 500 points total and not win. I could not find another country that has gotten over 500 and not won.
He looked, you guys.
I started looking. I started to look. I definitely did not do in-depth research. So.
Well, you don't have to go back too many years because, like, the further back you go, the fewer available points there are.
That's true.
Because fewer participating countries.
That was interesting, but yeah, it was the very rude crowd in Liverpool.
That was a little awkward.
I thought that was. I was sad about that.
Like, I mean, I get you really, really want to root for your favorite, but also.
And
maybe calm down.
He was a favorite and an underdog coming into it.
He wasn't an underdog.
Underdog in terms of like he's not in the industry.
Not coming into the show, but coming into the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So certainly he was very favored coming into the thing. And like killed it on the televote, right? Like pretty awesome. But I was really happy for him just for that because we were talking after the fact. He is going to be a star. That this will launch him. The fact that he got second might make him a bigger star than had he won. Because like
I don't know.
Because it's like this whole thing and people are like, "Oh, you know, there's a lot of mad people out there, but like everybody knows who he is now.
Yeah.
Like he's going to become. He's going to go somewhere. And like I mean, look at what happened with Måneskin. Like they just were an overnight success as a result of their Eurovision performance. I think he'll see something maybe a little slower, but similar. Maybe a little more restricted to Europe. Probably not going to catch on
it's not as globally appealing style.
He should definitely come to Minneapolis, though.
Yes.
Like 50% of my YouTube and social media is just Carrier. It's like all I get. It's great. And lots of Carrier speaking English.
Oh, yes. He's top of the global viral hits on Spotify right now.
That's awesome.
Yep. There's a lot of Eurovision songs on there, which is always, it happens all the time, because...
If you would like to know my other favorite Carrier song, it is Micmac.
There you go.
There it is.
Gonna have to give it a listen.
I also...
You're gonna have to watch the video, too, because he has some good dancing.
Yes.
Obviously.
Certainly.
You don't know.
I have no idea.
You don't know.
I've never
But I
seen
showed it to you.
No,
Yes, I did.
I don't think so.
I did it, in fact. Just
was I paying attention?
Stand in the living room and
was I
show
paying
you on my
attention
phone.
to the thing that you said?
Okay, but have you ever tried to tell Tyler anything? Yeah, no.
Yes.
Eye contact? Check in. You gotta check in to make sure he's still
By the way,
there.
she was looking at his phone.
I don't have my phone.
I was looking at an imaginary phone right here.
This is why...
You're looking?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, if there's stuff on the screen, guys, it's... Yeah. Becca.
Come on.
Anyway, now that Hobbs is here, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up and get some dinner.
Good boy.
But again, like I said, thank you so much for joining us on our journey. It's been a blast hanging out with these guys and with you guys.
It was a good year.
And yeah, it was a pretty good year.
Good season.
And we'll be back like usual. I hope that you'll be back as well. So we will see you next year. All right? You guys good?
Yep.
Okay, bye!
Bye, guys!
Okay, bye.